What is up guys, my name is Ignas, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a new dividend stock comparison, and for that I've picked the most defensive industry out there. That is packaged foods. So for the comparison I have three largest names from the industry, and first let us check which names these will be. So for the first one we have Kraft Heinz, ticker symbol KHC. In 1 year the stock went nowhere, down for 0.08%. Though zooming out to 5 years the result is not great either, where the company lost 41.7% of its market cap. Still, Kraft Heinz is the largest name in today's comparison with $48 billion, and the stock is now trading at a dividend yield of 4.07%. So this is the first pick, and I have two more to put against it. The second name is General Mills, ticker symbol GIS. In 1 year the stock is up for exactly 19%, though zooming out to 5 years there is quite a performance, with the price up for 57.52%. Market cap is very close to Kraft Heinz at $47.4 billion, though the dividend yield is a bit lower, now at 2.69%. And now for the third one we have Hormel Foods, ticker symbol HRL. In 1 year the stock is down for 6.19%, though zooming out in 5 years there was some growth, plus 36.88%. The company is 2 times smaller than the previous ones, market cap at $24.5 billion, and it is now trading at a dividend yield of 2.45%. So these three are the names for today's dividend comparison, and to track everything together we'll use Google Sheets. Now I have this table with the ticker symbol SIN, and for the dividend comparison we'll use 5 different metrics. Dividend yield, dividend payout ratio, years of consecutive dividend increases, 5-year compound annual dividend growth rate, and the current dividend yield compared to its 5-year average. We'll get the current numbers for each ticker, add them into this table and compare them in between. The stock with the best number will get a point for the metric, then we'll sum the points up, and in the end the stock with the most points will be considered the winner of this dividend comparison. I hope that the rules are clear, and early thumbs up would be very much appreciated, and with that out of the way, let's start. So the first metric we are taking is the dividend yield. It is calculated by taking the annual dividend per share and comparing to the share price. Kraft Heinz is currently paying an annual dividend of $1.60, so at a share price of $39.31, we here have a dividend yield of 4.08%. Now General Mills, with a dividend of $2.16, so at a price of $8.29 per share, we have a dividend yield of 2.69%. And Hormel Foods, their dividend is $1.10, so at $44.77 per share, that is a dividend yield of 2.46%. Second metric we are comparing is the dividend payout ratio. Percentage here shows what part of company's earnings are being used to pay dividends back to investors. So for Kraft Heinz, the dividend payout ratio is at 55.67%, meaning that just over half of company's earnings are being used to pay dividends. Now General Mills, with a dividend payout ratio of 49.19%, so just a bit under half of earnings are used for dividends here, and then Hormel Foods, with a payout ratio of 55.01%, so again just a bit over half of earnings are used for dividends. Metric number 3 is the number of years with consecutive dividend increases. So for how many years in a row the company has increased dividends for at least 1 quarter every year. It seems that for Kraft Heinz they haven't increased dividends from last year. Now General Mills, and it's exactly the same here, 0 years with consecutive dividend increases. And lastly Hormel Foods, totally different story, where they have 57 years of consecutive dividend increases. For the next metric we have compound annual dividend growth rate. Here we'll check for the 5-year average, including the next year's estimate. So it seems that Kraft Heinz is not planning to raise dividend next year too, and they have 0% in dividend growth. Now General Mills, and they have been cutting the dividend recently, so their dividend growth is in the negative, minus 3.74%. And lastly Hormel Foods, with a 5-year dividend growth rate of 4.98%. The last metric is the dividend yield compared to its 5-year average, and for that we'll use my dividend investing watchlist on Google Sheets. So we have the tab for Kraft Heinz, here is its dividend yield history for each quarter of the last 5 years, and on average in 5 years the stock was trading at a dividend yield of 4.94%. So we saw the best yield in the beginning of 2020 at 7.78%, higher than average for 57.61%, and then the worst one was in the second quarter of 2021 at 3.63%, below average for 26.46%. Still getting into the stock right now at a dividend yield of 4.04%, that is currently under the 5-year average, minus 18.16%. So this is here that number that we are looking for our comparison. Now let's take General Mills. We have its dividend yield history for each quarter of the last 5 years, and on average the stock was trading at a dividend yield of 3.43%. So the best time to get in was in 2019, with a dividend yield of 4.77%, higher than average for 38.93%, and the worst part was this year in 2023 at 2.49%, which means that it was under the 5-year average for 27.48%. Though getting into the stock right now at a yield of 2.67%, it is just a bit better but still under average, minus 22.23%. And now we have Hormel Foods. Here is its dividend yield history for each quarter of the last 5 years, and on average the stock was trading at a dividend yield of 2.03%. So the worst time to get into the stock was by the end of 2018, with a yield of 1.81%, under average for 10.86%, but getting into the stock right now at a yield of 2.46%, that is now over the 5-year average, plus 21.15%. So we have the numbers that we needed. If you would be interested in doing a similar analysis for another dividend-paying stock yourself, you are able to access this watch list and all other materials by using the first link at the top of the description. Otherwise, feel free to add a ticker symbol in a comment below, and I'll consider adding that into the watch list myself. Maybe you could share some interesting opportunity available in the market that I'm still missing. So we checked through the metrics for these 3 names. The numbers are in and we can now start assigning points. First one goes to Kraft Heinz with the largest dividend yield of 4.08%, a point to General Mills with the lowest dividend payout ratio of 49.19%. Hormel Foods gets a point for 57 years of consecutive dividend increases, another point for Hormel with the largest compound annual dividend growth rate of 4.98%, and the last point again to HRL, where its current dividend yield is 21.15% higher than its 5-year average. So the points are in and we can calculate results. Kraft Heinz got 1 point, General Mills 1, and Hormel Foods 3. This means that with 3 points, Hormel Foods is considered the winner of this dividend comparison. So today we have found an interesting pick from the packaged foods industry. It could be an interesting addition for our consumer staples exposure. Currently we have 3 names there, with Walmart, Tyson Foods, and Kimberly-Clark. I'll need to check if I want to have more exposure in the sector, but I will definitely have cash available with the new addition in the beginning of March. What do you think? Should we add Hormel Foods into our portfolio? Are you holding an HRL right now? Share your stance on the name in a comment below. Also, don't forget to support the channel and leave a thumbs up under the video. Last time I've went through a few other names, so if you are interested in any of these, then click on a video that is currently on the screen. And that was it from my side. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing y'all in the next one.